Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to your degree of attention. Where do you place your attention? When you focus on what it is that you want to be, to do, to feel, how you want life to feel, it's easy then to forgive people so that you don't fill your heart with bitterness. When you notice you're not feeling good, you can remind yourself that your brain is like a radio station where you can tune in or you can change the channel. It's a receiving and a broadcasting station. So what messages do you want to receive? If you want to feel better, you want to notice what you're thinking and start thinking better thoughts. Consciousness is all around us. We can tap into spirit, tap into new ideas. Everything is available to you. Realize that, notice that. Practice getting quiet, sitting still for a few minutes, tapping into the energy that creates worlds, connecting to that higher version of yourself, the best feeling. Think of a day, think of a time where you were so happy, so filled with love and joy. Take yourself back to that moment. Connect to that feeling as if you're already there. When you connect to a moment that you loved, it feels as if you're already there. So now you can choose a thought, something that you really desire, and think about being in that place. Your imagination is so powerful. You can think a thought so clearly, so deeply that your subconscious mind thinks you're there because your subconscious mind has no ability to reject. It accepts whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking as true for you. You can pretend. If you're in the middle of a blizzard in Saskatchewan, you can pretend that you're lying on a beach in Hawaii and you would be able to envision the warm sun, the hot sand under your toes, the cool breeze, the waves lapping onto shore. You can get so involved in the picture that you're startled to notice the reality around you. When you when you practice being in a state of being calm, being happy, being joyful, your body naturally goes that direction. You start to notice things that are in harmony with that. And life gets better and better the more you practice being in a state that you want to be, a state of love, a state of health, a state of happiness and joy. In Neville Goddard's book, The Power of Awareness, he talks about the creative mind. And he says, man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That's why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of a change in the temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So, in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. If you want to change your outer world, if you want to tap into what you really desire and bring that into your physical reality, you have to practice being in that state. Change your state of consciousness. Tap into what it would feel like to be that happy, healthy, joyful person living on purpose. What would you create? You can create anything when you decide what that picture looks like. When you get clear on the details and you practice being there in your imagination, then ideas flow to you. And when you take action on those ideas, your results change. You act differently, and then you get a different reaction from the universe. That's how everything changes. That's how everything comes to be. First, you think the idea, and then you take action on it. Thinking and feeling and acting as if you're peaceful, as if you're healthy, as if you are a calm creator who will bring to you everything that you desire. It's a process and it takes time. There's no one waving a magic wand to put you in a new situation. But as you notice what you don't want, instead of focusing on it and giving it attention and going through all the reasons and excuses why this is happening, just let it go. Notice that to be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. According to Neville Goddard, he says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas, for you think from your ideas. And you know what I've what I've been told and what I know to be true is that you can't think of new ideas, solutions from a state of being anxious and stressed. When you're worried and that's what you're focused on, you actually bring in more things to worry about, more things that make you anxious and stressed. Because like energy attracts like energy. The solution is available to you. The solution is on a different wavelength. The solution comes from being at ease, from allowing yourself to slow down, to calm down, to practice deep breathing, to practice being in the state of being that you prefer. Practicing, rehearsing, pretending that you're joyful, that you're peaceful, that you know everything is working out in your favor. And when you calm your mind and your body, then you can start creating from that beautiful energy that's always available to you. Take a deep breath in and allow your body to calm down, to relax, to get into a state of being well. Take another deep breath in. Hold it at the top and let that go. Believing that everything is working out in your favor. Neville Goddard says, all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. By desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. Take a deep breath in. Bring in that beautiful, creative, infinite, loving, creative energy. And let go of any worries or doubts or fears. You don't have to know how. Just practice seeing on the screen of your mind something that you really desire. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Who are you now that that's your reality? How would you be acting? How would you be behaving, dressing, speaking if you were that? You are a powerful creator. You can create the ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. And if this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. It must show up because you're practicing that, you're rehearsing it, you're becoming that. Neville Goddard says, the ideal you hope to achieve is always ready for an incarnation. But unless you yourself offer it human parentage, it is incapable of birth. Therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having desired to express a higher state, you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself, this new and improved version of you, this new and improved version of your reality. You know a thing mentally by looking at it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it and defining it. But you can only know a thing spiritually by becoming it. You must be the thing itself and not talk about it or wish for it or look at it. You must embody the spirit of that which you desire. You must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. As you sit comfortably and think about your dream, your wish, your deep desire, as you lose yourself in the feeling that you're already there, energy will come to you, bringing you ideas of how to get there. If you want to be healthy, what are some things that you could do to allow that into your life? Maybe that requires a change in your diet, in how often you exercise, in how much water you drink, in how much time you allow yourself to practice thinking about perfect health, strong, healthy, active, filled with energy, doing what you want to do easily and effortlessly because you are strong and healthy and active, because you take care of your body and your mind. You focus on positive outcomes, and then you let go of how it could happen. You be the person that is healthy. You do it. You are it. You become it. Neville Goddard says you must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. You have to be willing to die to the old version of you. You must be conscious of being secure if you are to know what security is. Therefore, to incarnate a new and greater value of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption. It may not yet be incarnate in your body at this particular time of your life, but when you assume in confidence that this new value or state of consciousness will become incarnated through your absolute fidelity to the assumption that you are that which you desire to be. This is what wholeness means. This is what integrity means. Neville Goddard says they mean submission of the whole self to the feeling of the wish fulfilled in certainty that this new state of consciousness is the renewing of mind which transforms. There is no order in nature corresponding to this willing submission of the self to the ideal beyond the self. You have been gifted with imagination. You possess what the rest of nature does not possess. Your imagination, the instrument by which you create your world. Your imagination can take you from sickness to perfect health, from poverty to wealth. Neville Goddard says, if you refuse to assume the responsibility of the incarnation of the new and higher concept of yourself, then you reject the means, the only means whereby your redemption, that is, the attainment of your ideal, can be affected. Everything starts in your imagination. Neville says it is the only redemptive power in the universe. However, it's optional whether you use it for your good or go in the opposite direction. So it's important to remind yourself, remind, rewire, rehearse. Who are you now that you are happy, healthy, loved, prosperous, wealthy, living your best life? You can take a few moments to think of that time where you were so happy, living joyfully, the best time of your life, and bring that feeling into every cell of your being. As you get connected to that feeling, as if you're already there, feeling what it was like to experience that beautiful moment in time. And then, whatever you desire, pretend that you're already there. You already have your deep desire. As you spend the time to connect to that feeling, you bring in energy that matches it. You bring to yourself ideas that are in harmony with that feeling. As you feel that energetic vibration of health and happiness, prosperity, joy, whatever state of being you know you would be in once your desire is accomplished, once you're living that, once you're being that, write it down. Any ideas while you're in this state of flow, state of love, state of receivership? The consciousness, the universe, the higher power, your higher self, the spiritual side of you. Ideas will pop into your mind. Write them down and act on them. If you don't act on them, the moment passes and you stay where you are or go backwards, because you must act in the faith that it is yours. It's here now. You must do what it is that you would be doing if you already had, if you were already living in that state of that you desire. Ideas will come to you to show you the next step on the path. What can you do today that would get you one step closer to your ideal? What do you know you should be doing? Do that. It might feel scary. You might worry about being criticized. You might fail. The key is to pick yourself up and follow your bliss. Go again. Keep practicing in your mind what it's like to already be in the state of prosperity, joy, time and money freedom. What does it look like? What does it feel like? As you journal, as you write, ideas will start to flow because you're in a state of flow, a state of well-being. And as you express that, sometimes it will feel like your pen is just writing by itself. There is a connection between your mind and your hand. So as you write what you truly desire, your subconscious mind will start looking for evidence. Allow yourself to be more consciously aware of how it feels to be in the state that you desire. As you feel that, as you connect to that, ideas will flow. It's up to you to bring that into physical reality. to give human parentage to your desire. You make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled and then acting as if when an idea comes to you, be courageous enough to act on it, to do what the old version of you would never do. Because that new version of you has all the energy, all the strength, all the vision, all the desire, all the capacity. You are tapped in, tuned in, turned on to that higher version of you. Go out and seize the day. Create that version of your life that you've been thinking about, that you've been feeling about, that you've been writing about. Go do something about it today. Act with faith and know that everything is working out in your favor. You are the cause and the effect of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.